Welcome again to How to Deal with Grief and Trauma podcast season 5. Yes, indeed, we are entering the second year of this podcast, and I'm looking forward to sharing some amazing guests that I've already lined up for you for season 5. How to Deal with Grief and Trauma is an independent podcast, and for it to remain advertising free, we would like to ask for your support. Simply go to bit.ly/supportgtpodcast and choose your level of support. Just a couple of dollars will help us continue making this podcast and keeping it free of advertising. If you have been listening to the previous episodes, episode 1 to 44, you will have heard many people's stories of grief and trauma and how they individually dealt with their challenges. Some of my guests lost beloved husbands, wives or partners, parents or other family members. Others lost a pregnancy, a baby, a child, or experienced the trauma of stillbirth. Some of those losses were age-related, natural, and to some degree expected death. Others, however, were untimely and unexpected, sudden, or some even through the involvement of some sort of force, such as accidents, or through the acts of some other human being, such as an inner homicide. Some of the conversations are about the trauma of physical, emotional, or sexual abuse. Others spoke about their childhood traumas, post-traumatic stress, or their anxiety. But not all losses accompany an element of trauma. In the conversations with my guests, they shared their view on healing their pain and integrating the loss. They spoke about their beliefs on why and how healing is possible for them. Some shared how they created a legacy and how they were able to continue living while their loved one was not. Many shared how art, creativity, music, or for example yoga, helped them through hard times. These are intimate and vulnerable conversations about trauma, about life and death, and the life after the death of a loved one. In season 4, towards the end of the first year of podcasting, I shared personally about my experience with the impact of somatic work and the effects of trauma on the nervous system. I also invited guests who spoke about the different interventions and therapy models which help people dealing with their grief and trauma. It was a full and exciting year of podcasting, and it will be continuing in season 5 starting next week. As mentioned, I have a range of exciting guests already lined up for most of season 5, from professors to psychotherapists, people who developed and or made therapeutic intervention models to help others. And as always, there are people like you and I talking about how they dealt or are dealing with their losses. As you know, dealing with trauma or grieving a loss is not something that has a clear end point. It is something we must learn to live with. And it is my sincere hope that this podcast will encourage and support you in doing just that. Thank you for your continuous support. Please go rate and review and recommend this podcast so that many people can benefit from it. Thank you so much. Thanks for listening to How to Deal with Grief and Trauma. If you'd like to be updated on future episodes, please subscribe to my newsletter on nathaliehimmelrich.com.